All right. Hello, everybody. This is a bit of a first because normally I do these super chat catch-ups as a live stream so everyone can participate, but there was so many supers to try and get through. It was probably easier if we just did this offline and then re-uploaded it so we don't just keep all you people waiting for too long and you can just peruse this at your leisure. So welcome back. This is our super chat catch-up stream for Open Bar 18. Which was a hell of a stream. We had about 13 and a bit thousand people watching us live, so I think that's a new record for us.
Discussing the newest Disney product.
Yes, yeah, and then we can get excited for next product. So yeah, it's all good, and we could tell that everyone. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Jesus, yeah, that's going to be an experience. I've spoken to a couple of people actually who've they've seen advanced screenings. And they're like, yeah, apart from the Eternals, this is possibly one of the worst MCU movies they've seen.
I was getting confused on that. I was like, shit, is it already out? Because everyone's talking about it. And I was like, oh, no, it's not out for us for like another 5 days, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not exactly in a rush to see it, but at the same time, you do want to be able to review it in a timely fashion, you know?
Oh, I've just fallen behind on a couple of, I don't know, movies, TV show stuff. So I'm just like, oh, not another one. Fuck.
Yeah.
Slow down, geez.
More to add to the list. But it's just a movie. At least it's not like a TV show with like 500 episodes or whatever. But
I can knock this out in whatever night I want, hopefully.
Yeah. So, should we do some supers?
Yeah.
All right, nice. Let's see what we got. So, as far as I can recall, the last one that we did brought us up to, Robot Dews, who said, "Hey, Drinker, my plushie finally arrived. Apparently, it took a detour to the USS Harry S. Truman. I guess it wanted to watch your Top Gun review on an aircraft carrier. I tweeted you the pic. Oh, fucking, I've got to see that then. No, that's awesome. I'm glad you got your plushie." Captain Herring says, "Mr. Drinker, sir, please review Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Go on, you know it makes sense. Have a buck fast on me for your troubles." Thanks, man. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Fucking classic from the 80s. Must be like at least 10 years since I've seen it. I could totally see why it was such a, one of those just iconic movies of its time. Like, and it really caught on. The breaking the fourth wall and stuff. It's pretty good. Primer says, "Hey all, as I write this, I'm stoned off my arse, munching my way through a large bag of taco-flavored Doritos. Sounds like a good way to experience Open Bar. Will Mudo make a bid for Sora on Jurassic World 3? So I assume he means you. Do you think you'll ever do it? Or do you think you'll ever watch it even?"
Fuck, yeah, I haven't even seen it. It came out at the worst possible time, honestly, like for me to be able to do anything with it. That doesn't mean I wouldn't want to do something with it eventually. I kind of wouldn't mind talking about Jurassic Park's a franchise at some point. Same for Terminator and Alien and stuff, but these are all disparate pieces of plans that are floating around in my plan box. So I don't know. You got a big maybe on my coverage of Dominion, but it's just funny because I've heard so many people say, like, you thought Fallen Kingdom was bad. It's like, oh.
It's legit worse than that. It's possibly the dumbest movie I've seen in a good while. You're going to lose your mind at a few scenes. Like, I won't ruin it for you, but yeah. It would be a ripe candidate for an unbridled rage, for sure. The Doom Knight says, "Drinker, I'm writing a novel." Well done. Your videos have helped me with crafting my world and characters so much that I named one of them after you. Aw, Thank you. Hope he doesn't die a horrifying death. I can't get the words out tonight.
Interesting words you made up there. I like them.
Yeah, let's make new ones. Patient Elijah said, "Hey, Drinker, I usually send you silly super chats, which I appreciate, but this one is very serious. Continue to the next super chat." Oh, okay.
Oh, my.
I'll need to scroll up. Where is it? Okay, so he's a bit further up the list, was his second one. So I just sent you a very important email. Would it be okay if right now you could write down on a piece of paper to check out Patient Elijah's email after your live stream ends? This will ensure you don't forget or overlook it. I always read all of my emails, so I presume I've either seen this and replied to it, or like I will get to it. But yeah, I was not in a fit condition to to be reading emails after that open bar. I just wanted to go to bed. But yeah, don't worry, man. I'll get to it. Spooky Fish says, "Here's Tree Fitty." Thank you. How much is that going to cost? About $3.50. Ryan Patterson says Disney Star Wars is all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits. That's very true. Kenobi does both. Ishan Hall says this show just makes me sad, utterly pointless. I'd say that's pretty bang on, really.
Yeah.
Alan Smithy says, keep giving us drunks a critical thought process. Thank you. I do my best. Rolando A. Ramirez said, I didn't even want to watch Angry Joe's video for the Kenobi finale. The clickbait killed me. I haven't seen his one, actually. Was he clickbaity?
I was going to say, does he ever do any clickbait? I thought he just says angry review or whatever.
Yeah.
Angry Joe Ken Booby finale. All right. Did it get better? Question mark.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, yeah.
It's a question you can ask. I mean,
I was gonna say that's fair. I don't think that's really clickbait. He's gonna answer that question for you. I don't know what he thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles Hurst says, "Hello, everyone. I hope you're having as good a time talking as I am listening." I think we did. We had a pretty good time with that one. Lots of shouting was done and lots of opinions expressed. Justin Stolls said they should have adapted Jedi Fallen Order storyline. You might know more about that than I do. I'm not too familiar with the games.
I only played like an hour of it, but I know that the Inquisitorius base or whatever was in that game. I know that people are saying like the way that Cal Kestis gets into the base makes more sense. The Inquisitor he deals with directly is a much better character than Reva. So yeah,
fair
maybe.
Dues. Yeah. To be fair, like probably Geode is a better character than Reva.
Hell yeah.
It's got a lot of depth, that character.
Mm-hmm.
A Chernobog says, after Kenobi, I've come to appreciate how much effort was put into the prequels to maintain continuity. Things actually fit into one mostly consistent story. I mean,
George tried.
Yeah, he tried, bless him.
More than can be said for Disney.
I think, I guess the key was like, he didn't really anticipate there being a much of a story in between like episode 3 and episode 4. Like it was very much everyone was where they needed to be for the OT to then pick up. So anything that you do in between is just going to fuck that up, which is kind of what you see with Kenobi, you know?
Yeah.
Wolf's Pain says, thoughts on a potential better story. Obi-Wan is on Tatooine, Magneto style in X-Men is that Apocalypse? Yeah. While he deals with non-Jedi life and finds out about Anakin's life. I mean, I guess, if you were going to do a story like this, it probably should have just been him on Tatooine with a relatively small scale storyline, but like with characters that you really cared about.
And whenever someone like suggests a different story, I'm almost automatically like, yeah, that would be better, no matter what it is.
But it's like, they had to go big because, like, what else could they do? It's like they've got to try and milk it. 5 picoseconds said, shout out to Uncle Owen for somehow being the only Star Wars character left unassassinated at this point. He was the Chad of the show.
He was, but he was still a moron to be like, yeah, we will stay here. You're right, wife. Like, that was dumb as fuck, but at least he got to... I mean...
Well, he can't stand up to a woman and prove her wrong. Like, that's not allowed. So, obviously, there's rules he has to obey, like gravity and stuff. But,
and just the whole approach. Like, he is just a guy, but at the same time, he chooses a pretty dumbass plan to attack her with Beru.
Yeah.
And as I was saying, I think when we watched it, I was just like, if she just slices them apart with a lightsaber, I wouldn't even be surprised. Disney will do it. And then Disney will be like, that wasn't even Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. No, those two were just randoms. Yep. Obi-Wan cloned them. The real ones. You're like, okay, all right, yeah.
Or just like they bring in like a couple of like actors to replace them, and like Luke kind of wakes up the next morning from being knocked out, and he's like, why are Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru gone? It's like, no, Luke, you don't understand. We've always been here. Just like spending the next 10 years trying to convince him.
They were Sith, and they've been killed now.
Yeah. Game Dude 03 said, Drinker, you critique of drunkenness. Kenobi didn't fail. They got exactly what they wanted, a diverse female space Jesus. That is true. Yeah.
What an achievement.
The important thing is that Reva had a happy ending, and she got to just, walk away scot-free after murdering countless people. It's fine. The point that you kind of made once really got me thinking about that. Like, if somehow Vader had survived Return of the Jedi, he would have absolutely had to answer for the things he'd done. Like, he wouldn't have just been allowed to go free. He would have spent the rest of his life in jail at the very least.
It's very narratively suitable to not have to answer something like that, because none of us want to see it really as a storyline, like Vader awkwardly returning to... Could you imagine everyone's partying on Endor and he shows up like, hi... and they're all like, "What the fuck?" Like, I could see Han Solo about to shoot him. Vader's like, "No, I'm not. I'm chill now. Like, honestly, it's fine." And like, how awkward that scene would be. It's like, we can't have that.
Yeah. Wolfbane said, "You can't outrun a strong, independent female diversity hire." I mean, I'm pretty sure that I could outrun Reva because she runs like a fucking duck that's drunk.
Do you think?
I don't know.
If she were to chase Leia, it would just break the universe.
I think so.
No.
It'd be like watching the Special Olympics or something, honestly. It's just, yeah. I don't know if it's because of the costume that she's wearing and like the armor is kind of really clunky and awkward to run in, or if Moses Ingram is just a really shit runner. It's hard to tell, but man, they showed her in the worst possible light. Like, they do a lot of long shots of her running, and it's just like, you really shouldn't. You should just get lots of jump cuts there, or keep it in close on her. Glib says, "At what point is it officially over for Star Wars, or are we going to always be in this diminishing return cycle of seeing lesser writers trying to fill in gaps that weren't filled in before, gaps that were meant to be gaps?" That's a pretty interesting question, actually, because it's one that we've pondered before. Like, how obscure can you go with it?
Like how long until it's over? It's like it's until it doesn't make any money anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
But they came a little close to killing it with TLJ and Solo, but Star Wars endured because that is a healthy franchise back then, and so it could survive that. But if you had several TLJs in a row, and I mean scripts that are so bad it pisses off the public and the general fans, like a season 8 of Game of Thrones type thing again and again, that could kill it. You could do some damage that way.
Yeah.
But I think the more and more and more of it, the thinner its appeal will get, hopefully. Like, because I don't like seeing Star Wars getting pulled and pushed this way. It sucks, but I don't know. I'm not sure what'll do it.
I think it'd be interesting to see, because eventually they're going to have to release another movie. It's going to happen, because it really feels like they've been ducking it and trying to put it off. Like, I don't know why. Like, just keep shitting out these really cheap TV shows that I guess will not represent too big of a risk. And you can hide the subscription numbers behind your streaming service, so you can just pretend that everything's super healthy. But like, when it comes to box office at the cinema, you can't hide that. If a movie flops, it flops. And it just feels like they're really scared to release any more Star Wars movies now.
It does look that way, yeah.
But hey, Rian Johnson's going to save it with his trilogy.
Woohoo!
That's a great exercise in just like corporate backpedaling, isn't it? It's like we can't outright say that he's not doing it because everyone fucking hates him.
To be honest with you, we'll all be waiting. Like, if he actually announces like he's finally working on the scripts and they're set to release in 2024 or whatever, we'll just be like, we'll be there, buddy. We'll check them out.
We'll make sure they get the reception they deserve.
Oh yeah, fucking Knives Out 2 and 3, I'm guessing will probably do pretty well, and maybe then he'll come back to Star Wars. It'll be great.
Yeah, I think he probably won't have Kathleen Kennedy there to support him and protect him, because she's not going to be around forever. I think she's like pushing 70 now. She's probably going to retire at some point.
She will find someone like-minded to replace her, though.
I mean, maybe. I don't think it's going to be up to her necessarily, because it'll be kind of Bob Chapek or whoever's president of Disney at that point.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I don't know. I just don't expect that the shitty content ends with her, you know?
Yeah, possibly. Yo-Yo said, so some weirdo on an Andrew Clavin comment section said you were woke because of your Everything Everywhere All at Once review. What say you, drinker? That's
Wow.
interesting.
I
That
thought they were
makes
gonna
me
say
woke.
I thought they were gonna say me, not you. Like, damn.
Yeah, well, I like good movies, I suppose, and that was a really good movie that was well written and well acted, and it was creative and good. I don't think that really factors into it. Yeah, it's an odd one. Like,
That was your mistake to make.
I know, what am I like being fair with movies and giving them a fair shot? You know? Clearly, I just need to hate everything. Yeah, I just want to be fair to them, and if a movie's good, it's good. It'll get a good review from me. Theoretically, Ryan Johnson could direct like the greatest movie that's ever been made, and if it is, then I would have to praise it, even if I don't like the man in particular.
Yep.
You know, it's only right to be fair.
I praised his Breaking Bad work. I'll praise his Star Wars work if it were good.
Yeah. Taker 610 says, "Does Tatooine have the castle doctrine? I hope so." What is the castle doctrine again? I've heard this before.
Oh, is that the shit about like home defense and stuff?
Let me find out. So, okay. Yeah. So it's the idea that within your own home, essentially, you're allowed to take whatever steps are necessary to fight off intruders, if you catch my drift. So, yeah.
I can't imagine it would be a problem to do that in Tatooine, of all places. I feel like you'd be all right.
You're kind of it's like on the outer rim, so it's kind of just like the Wild West, where I imagine law and order is just like enforced by whoever's got the biggest guns.
Yeah.
Wolfsbane said, part 2, Obi-Wan has a scene where he fends off raiders with a lightsaber and then being deathly afraid of it because of the legends of Anakin's actions in the Clone Wars. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, so... yeah, I guess the point being that everyone recognizes a lightsaber and what it can do, and whoever wields it is clearly a dangerous guy.
Yeah.
Hurl Hayes says, "Come on, guys, Star Wars has always been goofy. Remember that stormtrooper that hit his head on the frame?"
The famous stormtrooper.
It does my head in. It's become a meme at this point, isn't it? Now, where it's like, oh, you're pointing out all these massive writing problems with whatever new Star Wars property. Well, this stormtrooper banged his head on a door frame, so that makes it just as bad. Yeah, it's just I've never really bought into this whole idea of like, oh, here's a minor editing goof, or here's a bit of fight choreography that wasn't amazing.
I just draw the line when people like comparing it to other goofy things, and they'll involve like the disappearing knife in TLJ, and I'm like, how do you possibly think these two things are the same thing? Like, what are the consequences of a random stormtrooper bonking his head in the background of a non-fight scene? It's like nothing, literally nothing.
Yeah, and like obviously you understand the reason for it. It's just like the extra was too tall and he didn't duck and he hit his head. It's like, and they didn't really notice it, or they just figured no one would see it, and so they left it in. Maybe they were pushed for time or whatever. But yeah, like now you've got the power to fix all this stuff, and like something like the disappearing knife is just like terrible editing. It's terrible planning for a scene like that, and it's like straight up just bending reality. It's just it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Sleepy Zed said, "Do you already cover how Reva got off the last planet and onto Tatooine in the time that Vader flew back to his destroyer and went to the bridge to tell them to increase firepower?" I don't think that ever was explained. Like, how did she get off that planet? Because it was meant to be like some isolated place in the, it didn't have any civilization or anything on it. And
she's Reva, so.
Yeah. Well, the Empire would have taken all their ships and left. And so, there shouldn't really have been any way for her to get off it. But, yeah, she's just Reva. Just don't think about it. Nomad says, "My best friend said this episode was perfect. He's a Disnoid, so what do I do? I can't wait for the short of this to come out more."
Wait, sorry, the can't wait for what to come out?
The short, so I assume it's like an EFAP.
Oh, the minis. Yeah, because for a second there I was like, wait, have I been making shorts? Because there's a whole new thing on YouTube now, isn't it?
Oh yeah. So yeah, what should he do with his friend who thinks this episode was perfect? I guess we can't advocate murder or anything. So
look, because this is a common. This question keeps evolving over time. Because it's like you're allowed to like whatever you want, right? And you're like, yes. However, we still have to acknowledge that the liking of these things is why more gets creative, right? That is just the reality. So, if we found out that everyone hated, let's say, Top Gun Maverick, for example, and so we don't get any of them anymore, and they'd be like, why can't you just allow people to hate things and like things as they wish? And it's like, I don't know, man. I just, I'm just saying. I'm seeing the pattern. When you like the stuff that's poopy, we get more poopy, and that's not great. When we all sort of collectively agreed, hey, TLJ was shit and Solo was garbage, Star Wars actually had to change. They didn't change for the better, of course, but they still hid it, if you know what I mean. I feel like I don't know if this shouldn't be controversial, but if everybody thought, yeah, Multiverse of Madness is one of the most inconsistently written films in history, and Marvel need to fucking get better writers. If everyone said that and no one went to see it, I think that would make a difference, wouldn't it? They'd think like, okay, fine. This clearly we can't just coast it. We actually have to care about the scripts. And yeah, I don't know how else to send the message forward of like we need to try and make some form of difference there. But so when someone says like, oh, I just fucking love Kenobi, my favorite content of all time, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. It just the more of you there are, the more Kenobis we get.
I think as well, like there's that line between saying like I liked it, I thought it was fun, and it's actually like verifiably good. It's well written. Like those are obviously two different things, and it's obviously something that you cover a lot in your reviews, just like objectively assessing the merits of the writing. And yeah, I don't really see how we could watch Kenobi and then maintain that, yeah, it's perfect. Like the perfect storytelling, everything's accounted for, there's no holes in it or anything. It's like,
yeah,
you can't, like with a rational mind, you can't justify that. So I guess that's
two stomachs, man. Two stomachs.
Yeah. Joe C818 says, excellent all-star panel on the Drinkers channel. Episode 6 of Kenobi was like watching Spaceballs. Well, I mean, Spaceballs is actually entertaining, so...
I was going to say, I like Spaceballs, so I don't know what you
mean. Jack Tees says, Revenge of the Sith. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. Kenobi, then my friend is truly dead. Goodbye, Darth. A small change that hurts so much. Yeah.
You can hear it in the script that they're like sucking themselves off because they're like, see, he calls him Darth in New Hope, and now we've explained why. Oh, we're the best ever. Woo! And it's like, didn't he come there to kill him because he's Vader, and then he hesitated because he thought he was Anakin, and then he got confirmed directly that he's Vader, and then he went, okay, bye then. That doesn't make any sense at all, guys. They're just like, huh? And then you have people online who are like, well, he's going through a lot, okay? He's stressed out.
The thing is, that'll be the same writers as well who think it's impressive and smart that they had Kenobi say to Leia, like, oh, we must never tell anyone of this, to try and account for her like totally not knowing who the fuck he is in A New Hope.
That's Leia, if I were to perish, you must pretend as though you don't give a fuck. She'll be like, okay.
That's a weird thing to say, but yeah, okay, I'll go with it.
If Darth Vader kills me in front of you, make sure you just run away looking like you don't care at all. That's the key, Leia.
Yeah. Wolfsbane said, Part 3. Meanwhile, Vader has a lead on a Jedi that could be Obi-Wan, but learns that Reva set him up to kill him with a fake Obi-Wan. They both die, by the way. All right, so this is like your alternate reality. Fair dues. Yeah. Wolfbane, completely different person, said the Victorians used to dress and pose their loved ones' corpses for photo shoots. Yeah, it was quite a fad for a while. Not macabre at all. This macabre practice was their way of mourning. Disney keeps the corpse of the Star Wars franchise on puppet strings and asks you to pretend that it's alive. Anyway, enjoy the next Disney Plus Star Wars shows. Thanks. It's that's kind of what it feels like. Stringing up the corpses of characters and shows and just pretending with them, I suppose. But yeah, that guy gave me $100, so thanks for that, man. Very much appreciated. Shorty Short said they stole the Vader's helmet getting broken scene from Rebels. Yes, they did apparently, but I should assume that they've seen Rebels. Maybe they. Who knows at this point?
Way easier to just steal something like that. You get automatic like substance points from random fans. They'll be like, "Oh, dude, I don't get." Brian, did you notice that when he cut the mask, you could see his eye and you can see his you can see him expressing now? oh, this is so good. You were like, okay, yeah, it's real good, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm not familiar with Rebels, but I have seen that fight between him and Ahsoka, and yeah, it's pretty well done. So it was pretty good. Nightwish fan said either the writers aren't communicating with each other or they have the memory of a goldfish. Yeah, I think they just don't give a fuck.
Why don't we go with both?
Yeah. Finbar White said, "Hey, drinker, everyone. Where was Vader's theme? Also, so they're saying Obi-Wan had 2 chances to kill Vader, but nah. He says, nah, I'll let Luke kill his dad later." That's true.
Pretty much.
It's like, yeah, I said this in my review. It's like, okay, it made sense for Kenobi to leave Vader behind on Mustafar because, well, he looked like he was going to die pretty much. He was on fire. Here, yeah, he's absolutely still going to be a threat. He's going to come after you again.
You can't even argue that Kenobi just can't bring himself to throw a death blow at him because it's like, no, you've done that a lot. When you threw the fucking like 10,000 pounds worth of boulders at him, any of that could have killed him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And when you sliced his face with your lightsaber, that might have killed him too. But yeah, it was only right when you had him dead to rights, you were just like, you know what? Actually, this wouldn't make sense if I killed you, so I'm going to go now.
I mean, yeah, if you had to do a scene like that, you could have just reworked it so that they got interrupted. You know,
That's what
stormtroopers came in or whatever. I don't know.
I would have expected them to do that. They've done it so many times. Disney are notoriously terrible at this. Remember the Rey and Kylo one in TFA? The little world splits apart in front of them. It's so stupid. But that, I can't believe I'm saying this, but that is better than us having to go, so Kenobi is just out of character. Okay. All right, then.
Yeah. Mr. X says, due to budget cuts, all choreography was done in the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel. Would be surprised. Do you think the series was recut to leave space for a Reva show? Absolutely. You're definitely going to be seeing more of her. Yeah, she'll show up in like The Mandalorian or something. She'll be older by that point, but yeah, she'll definitely get used.
Favorite. Team her up with Jar Jar. Get him a buddy cop movie.
Yeah,
that could actually be funny because she'll be so aggressive and annoying, and they'll make him likable. Like he's trying to calm it down and stuff.
Use a no kill anyone this time. I do what I want. Grimnack28 says, "Hail, love all your guys' stuff. I had my baby girl. Everly was super healthy. She was a chunk at 9 pounds 2 ounces. Congratulations, man. Well done."
Hey.
Are we seeing Star Wars Theory and FFV? What's that one? FFV finally wake up.
FFV, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Also pretty sure Qui-Gon was never able to show up as a physical ghost. Yeah, there's some lore about that, isn't there? Like George Lucas did it.
He's not supposed to be able to. He's supposed to just be a voice, which I can understand people being upset by. I was just completely distracted by it. What an utter waste it was to have everything you need and have him only say that. You know, even if they said, yeah, but we can't, because of restraints, we can only have him speak for a minute even, and Kenobi can't even reply to any of it because we've got stock. Like, you can still make that better than him just saying, let's go.
Yeah.
I believe in you, writers. I believe in you.
And he says as well, we've got a long walk ahead of us. It's like, you don't have to walk anywhere. You're a fucking Force ghost. You can just like teleport to where you need to be. It's so dumb.
You couldn't have him say anything inspirational in any way, could you?
Yeah. I was here the whole time. You just weren't ready to see me. Oh, fuck off, man.
Oh, you turn up when everything's over. That's cool.
Yeah. Indy G says, hello there, Drunkler. First time catching one of these streams live. I assume Tatiana was the reason for your lateness. Stay frosty, mate. Cheers, man. And yeah, we're always late now. It's almost become a tradition, pretty much. It's because I'm so fucking disorganized and I'm desperately trying to get everything set up for the stream while we're backstage. Does this dress make my ass look big? Says, if you need to bring a sense of realism to the chase and kidnap scene with Princess Leia and Kenobi, why not hire an experienced actor like Ezra Miller?
No.
Oh, that dude. Has he been fired from The Flash now? Have they actually gotten rid of him?
I always end up reading articles like that on Twitter or whatever, and I'm like, is this parody or is this real? I never know anymore. But I remember asking, I think on Real BBC, and they said, yeah, he's it's been done.
I mean, yeah, like if they wouldn't cut him loose after this, I don't know what he'd have to do to get fired. Stephen D said, "My old man can't get a beer because his old man won't give a beer to another old man." What?
All right.
Yeah. Kenneth LaRocque said, "They still can't hit the broadside of a barn even with a Star Destroyer." Yeah, it's beyond parody at this point.
And we're going to get more.
Yeah. Mind of Jamal says, "The major screw-up was at the end when Vader was sitting down talking to Darth Sidious. Vader always kneels to the Emperor." I think that's true, isn't it?
He was in his comfy chair. Come on.
Yeah. Just needed to chill for a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Taker610 says, "If only Ezra Miller had been cast as a kidnapper." Indeed. He's very good at it. 5 picoseconds says, "These are all some good arguments, guys. Unfortunately for you, a stormtrooper bumped his head in the background of episode 4, and therefore your arguments are invalid." Yeah, as we covered earlier. Yeah, they always hit us with that silver bullet of logic. Racket says, "If Vader can stop a flying ship, if Vader can stop a ship from flying off in the series, why can't he stop the ship from flying off with the Death Star plans in Rogue One 9 years later? Because it wouldn't be convenient to the plot."
I feel like the Empire example flew straight into my head because I've always enjoyed that visual where Vader arrives and this is fucking terrifying and they just escaped and he sees that and he's just like, they'd be so screwed if I were here any earlier. But that's fine. We'll still get you. That sort of vibe. But no, now they've retconned it into him being like, I could grab you, but I won't.
It's just, this is what happens when you get power creep, though, isn't it? Because I love the way they built up the Force in the OT. It's like it starts off with just really simple things like Kenobi being able to use mind tricks on the stormtroopers. It's like, okay, it's subtle, you know. Gradually moves up to like being able to lift small objects and things. Like, again, just pretty subtle things.
Yeah.
And then when Yoda is able to lift the X-wing, and that's like a massive demonstration of power. It's like, holy shit, like that's real strength in the Force in him. And yeah, then it kind of culminates in the Emperor being able to throw lightning bolts from his hands. I mean, that's, again, all of that stuff really impressive. But now it's like you can crush entire ships, and you can throw mountains at people, and you know if you're Rey, you can blast someone with enough power to like destroy the Death Star almost. Like it's so overblown now and so overused. And as we pointed out when we were discussing Kenobi, now that you know you've got all this power and you can do all this stuff, why would you ever use physical weapons like lightsabers? You could just use the Force to like turn someone inside out, or throw a fucking building at them or whatever. Like it kind of nullifies the point of everything. Then it's just too powerful. Andrew Clark said, "Did you guys hear about hashtag Tugs Tits trending at #1? I did, yeah.
I didn't.
So it was that Umbrella guy, and I think he was getting a lot of shit for covering the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. But he was one of the big sort of channels streaming the trial and talking about it and stuff. And I think they tried to come after him somehow. Like,
I think because I saw you tweeting about that back in the day. I think that is the most blatant we've ever gotten, where someone can just go, "You're making money, and that upsets me because I want money," and it's like, okay,
yeah. So I think they managed to get this trending on Twitter. So fucking well done,
So, and it's so blatant because it would be nice if we lived in a world sometimes anyway where a wizard just forced you to be honest about your motivation. Because people think that about us. They're like, you only hate women and minorities. That's why you do this. When we're sitting here, like, we look to our left or right and we see this huge collection of all of our favorite movies. We're like, no, I just like movies. But okay. But for when people are like, they're super racist, get them off the platform, the wizard just like hits them with the wand. It's like, they're making more money than I could ever make. Get them off the platform.
Yeah. You saw. I don't know if you heard about that article that came out on Salon.com, where it's like they're going after the fandom menace of all things, which is fucking defunct now, as far as I know.
I was gonna say, is that collective even a thing anymore? Does anyone use that label anymore?
I don't hear it mentioned really. But then, it's like they try and tie in like the quartering into it of all people who's never been remotely involved in it. It's like whoever wrote that article just heard some buzzwords and they're like, oh, this is the Quartering's a big channel, and the Fandom Menace is a thing. Like, okay, they're all racists, and they're all just doing this to funnel everyone into the right wing stuff.
That's the usual line. So good luck with it, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, wait until Black Panther 2 comes out. They could get their whole set of anger out on it. That film's going to be terrible with how the script has been written. But
yeah.
Oh, well.
So yeah, they don't even have Black Panther anymore. They've got, what's her name? Shuri is going to be doing it now, isn't she?
Yeah. And you know what I was about to say? I was like, my brain was like, oh yeah, because they'll be like Black lead, of course you go after it. And then I was thinking to myself, well, Thor: Love and Thunder, we're probably gonna have negative reviews of that. So there you go. And it's like, yeah, well, that doesn't count as a white male lead because now there's a woman leading it too. And I'd be like, so what is even gonna count at this point? As us going after a white male lead if there's women leading as well in every movie. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's good that we're in the fortunate position of not giving a fuck what any of those people say, but yeah, if you were to try and defend yourself to them, it's like no matter what you presented them with, they would have an answer about like, no, but still you're secretly, sexist and racist or whatever else.
Dude, Arcane causes them so much problems. Like they find it so difficult to reconcile that one. It ticks every single box of thing that we shouldn't enjoy according to them. So they're just like, we have to ignore that one. Leave it. It doesn't matter. They didn't like that. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Shorty Shorts says stabbed by a lightsaber equals just a flesh wound. Yep, that's all it is now.
Dude, it's not even a flesh wound. It's not anything.
I mean,
revenge does great for the will to live.
Yeah, Christ, yeah. Oh, I hate this. I hate what they do with this.
Yeah.
Show me the camel toe says you people are missing the silver lining. Disney finally listening to the fans about bringing together old beloved characters on screen. I mean, I suppose they did bring them on together on screen. It's just like not in the way we wanted.
I would prefer to not see them than see them portraying these gross skinwalker versions of the characters I love.
John says, yeah, like the big lore channels, Star Wars Theory, Eckhart's Ladder, so sad. I'm not sure what that's a reference to, actually. Stoll Henrik says, my friend had a scary thought. Dude, they might make Reva Finn's mother. Oh, no. No, wait, that doesn't line up, does it?
Wait,
age-wise.
Could it not? Because how old is Finn? Is he similar age to Rey?
I think he's not. He's meant to be about what, early 20s, I would assume.
I can't remember how old Rey's supposed to be. Is she 19? Or supposed to be 19?
I think so, yeah. So yeah, this is set up like what, 30 years after Return of the Jedi, and so
I like the idea that you're trying to be like, does this fit within continuity?
I know, as if it fucking matters.
Disney would do it.
Yeah. Yeah, oh god, maybe they will. Wolfbane said, I'm surprised that you guys have glazed over the disrespect to Vader in his final Kenobi scene. The point of not playing his theme until after that talk with Palpatine conveys the message, now he's really Vader, not Anakin.
Yeah, I get what they were going for. It was embarrassing and stupid. Especially because loads of fans were like, oh yes, this is Vader, in reference to episode 3, when the show is like, no, that's not really Vader yet. It's like, so who's fucking with me then? Somebody is.
Yeah. Tim Hare says, I love your channel, Drinker. Thank you. I love you too. Stalker QTA said, when Reva redeemed herself by not murdering her defenseless 10-year-old Luke, I clapped. Yeah, we all did.
Mm-hmm.
Atha Lionheart says, feels like the writers saw all the plot holes being pointed out on the internet and tried to fix them in reshoots at the last minute. They probably should have tried harder if that's the case.
I wouldn't deny the fact that last episode really does feel like they're like, hurry up, tie all the loose ends, do whatever you can. Fuck it, we can't play around anymore. We haven't got any time.
Yeah. Lady Gravemaster said, plot twist, Maul returns in Kenobi Season 2 and Obi-Wan tries to kill him but can't, and Reva drops out of nowhere, saves him, and dies a heroic death. So stunning, so brave. You're so right, Lady Gravemaster.
I look forward to it. It'll be great.
Wolfbane says, Layra, Princess of Power. Yeah, she is. She's the source of everything. CJ Broskin says, couldn't they have done this with Leia as a teenager? At least her asking to fix the shutters wouldn't be so outlandish then. Yeah, I have no idea how a small child is able to handle complex electrical repairs. She just knows. She's like Rey. She just knows how to do things. I just love the fact that Kenobi keeps actually listening to her. It's like when she has opinions about what they should do next, and everyone's like, "Shut the fuck up, little girl," and he's like, "No, you must listen to her." Like, no,
He'll listen to it when he doesn't even know exactly what her plan is. He'll just be like, "This is happening."
Yeah, it's like you can't question her. Of course, she must be right. Cannon Folderall says, "Hail Drinker and crew. I would be surprised if the next time you watch A New Hope on Disney Plus, Leia's message has been clumsily ADR'd to years ago. You saved me from the Inquisitors. Look in physical media now."
Yeah,
that could happen. By the way, I could totally see them pulling that shit. The real RJ Bonds says, "I wanted to gouge my eyes out in Bail Organa's 'We can't ever afford to repay you' during Obi-Wan's 5-minute drive-by. He flew across the galaxy to stay 5 minutes. How about lunch?" Nah, it'll be fine. That is true, actually. He goes all that way just to like say bye, and then off he goes again.
Well, remember when he said, like, if I don't hear from you, I'm going to go to Tatooine? He never did.
Yeah.
And he certainly didn't hear from Kenobi, so, yeah, don't know what happened there.
Lady Gravemaster gave me $50, so thank you. Says 12,000 people watching. Congratulations, sir. It was a good stream. Nathan Cassidy says, "The moral of Disney Star Wars is women ruin everything, as the Emperor would say. Ironic."
Yeah.
It's we talked about this before. It's just like with Leia and Aunt Beru and Reva, like you've got all these characters who make terrible decisions and do like absolutely the wrong thing in most situations, but it's tried to be framed as correct and virtuous and heroic, and it's just it's so funny watching it. Jonathan Giaminos says, "Beru was way older, allegedly, in the original trilogy. Maybe that's the reason they got killed. Yeah, I'm going away now. Cheers." Fair enough. Mr. Left Turn says, "Bail Organa leaving that message for Obi-Wan is one of the most agonizing contrivances I've seen since Hux didn't shoot the Radis in TLJ." It was a pretty incriminating message, to be fair.
When he does it all himself, he's like, "I think you may be captured, so I will help the boy on Tatooine. I will help Uncle Owen." You're like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
What? The writers must have known when they wrote that. They must have known.
It's for me, it's on par with when Nebula glitches out in Avengers Endgame, and she just happens to play like a clip of the rest of them, like giving all the information that Thanos needs in order to act upon it. It's like if that hadn't happened at that exact moment, he would have had no fucking clue, and the whole rest of the plot wouldn't have happened.
So lazy, just crazy levels of lazy.
JJ Chili Dogs says, "How did Reva find a ship when that planet only had like 2 ships?" We'll never know. She just got there.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if Vader and Stupid Inquisitor just gave her one. They were like, "There's one in parking slot C. There's actually a little device in there. If you stab it, it'll heal your wounds. Like, we want you to come back. We kind of like the challenge, okay?" And she's like, "Oh, okay, cool, thank you."
Yeah. Or they were just like, because they give her that parting word of, "We're going to leave you where we found you, in the gutter." It's like, they could have just added, "We're going to leave you where we found you, in the gutter, barely able to crawl to that ship over there. Good luck. Bye."
Because she's like, "Leave you in the gutter," and then she just goes, "Oh no, don't do that. Don't leave me here." And then they're like, "Haha, yeah, you don't like that we're doing that, do you?" And she's like, "No, that would be terrible."
Joe said, doesn't he even know that Anakin was one of the most skilled and decorated generals in the Clone Wars? He and Kenobi are legends. What the fuck?
Kenobi,
yeah. I should go with that, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just making up all new words tonight.
I like them.
Douglas Burton says, "The next day Luke wakes up. You all hid me in that room and I heard gunfire, lots of shouting and screaming. Then you had me run into the open desert without food and water and I blacked out. What happened?" Okay, guys, you're the writer. Best answer. Yeah, what should they tell him?
Well, so if we have the setup of he doesn't remember a thing, you just be like, "Yeah, Tusken Raiders broke in. We tried to fight them off and one of them managed to chase you down and they threw something at you, maybe. I don't know. But it's all good. You were knocked out, so you didn't see a thing." However, if he's like, I remember it being a black chick and she had a big glowing red thing and she grabbed me with like magic, I'd be like, Yeah, you wow, look at your imagination. Look at it go.
Yeah.
I don't know what you saw, Luke.
Just having to like constantly gaslight him for the next decade.
Yeah. You know, children on Tatooine, there's an experience called hallucinations. And,
Yeah.
look at you, so mature.
You were sleepwalking, but I've got bruises all over me. Sleepwalking.
We were also sleepwalking, hitting you, and that's how you got
Yeah.
the bruises.
It was a crazy night. Wolfbane said, "Have any of you guys heard of or seen a content creator called The Little Platoon? You guys, especially Drinker and Mauler, might have some very interesting talks about Star Wars."
I've not heard of them.
No, I haven't seen him, mate. Sorry. Michael Batty says, "This is my first super chat ever." Oh, thank you. You guys are the best. I listened to your Hot Fuzz video the other night and enjoyed every minute of it. Cheers. Hot Fuzz was good fun to talk about.
That was a good chat, that one.
See, we do like things.
Lies.
Yeah. You hate everything. Keith Drake said, "I'm really afraid Reva will get her own show." Yeah, be afraid it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Waylon Bucephus said, "In some old Star Wars comics, Obi-Wan protected the Lars homestead from a group of Tusken Raiders led by a former Tusken Jedi Knight. The two Jedi dueled, ending with Kenobi cutting off his arm." Fair enough. I cannot imagine a Tusken Raider as a Jedi. That's... Yeah. I don't even know how he would do his training. Like...
Qui-Gon was training him. That's what he was doing this whole time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Chris Mitty said, "The more you think about Kenobi, the worse it gets. I've never seen a show undermine itself constantly from scene to scene and episode to episode." Yeah. Watch any of the Marvel TV shows. It'll open your eyes.
All the movies.
Yeah. Everything at this point. Wolfbane said, "If the Rise of Skywalker is pronounced Tross, how about saying TLJ as Tilge, rhyming with bilge?" That's fair dues.
Tilge, yeah.
Tilge. Doodoo Fart says, "Luke has no idea what a lightsaber is in A New Hope, yet he gets folded by an Inquisitor wielding one in Kenobi." Yeah, like we just talked about there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I thought it was actually that he didn't even see the lightsaber, but when Gary pointed it out, it's like she's walking through the main door, and then she's like, "Luke, start running away." So he would have been looking, and he would have seen it.
Yeah. And he would have... You know, she has to cross the desert to get to him as well when he's run away. It's like he must have looked back over his shoulder to see who was pursuing him.
Absolutely.
Matt Guy says, "Have you seen The Old Man with Jeff Bridges? It's awesome."
I haven't,
I'm afraid. Dion says, "I really believe these new Disney Star Wars fans don't actually enjoy Star Wars. They just want to be part of the current pop culture thing. Star Wars is just a placeholder." Yeah, that's... What is it? They've said it's like the worst thing that ever happened to geekdom is that it went mainstream.
A little bit, yeah, because you go back early enough and you start seeing media where it's like the geek characters are always picked on, but like geek is an aesthetic now that's really popular. Getting weird, man. But
then, it brings in people that they're not really part of that and they don't want to be. They just like the idea of it. And then you end up having to start catering to them. And that's how you get stuff like this. I mean, I've said as much about sci-fi. It's like too many, dumb people started watching it, and so it's become dumber as a result to try and appeal to them.
I mean, yeah, a lot of the superficial stuff ends up being the content entirely. It's like, them lightsabers, man, woom woom.
Yeah. Taker 610 said, "When Reva met Vader, he should have said, that wound looks like one of mine. Have I stabbed you before?" Also, Reva totally needed an Aladdin-like self-reflective musical number after the Grand Inquisitor berates her. Riff Raff, Street Rat, I don't buy that. Yeah. That's, I mean, I don't know how she imagined she was going to fulfill this plan, really. When you're living in a universe that people can read your mind and stuff, it's just... you're going to have a hard time fooling him.
True.
Wes Stewart says, "I have huge issues with Kenobi taking story and emotional beats from Jedi Fallen Order and Star Wars Rebels. Completely derivative. Disney is too busy ripping off their own material instead of looking to the EU." Can't really argue against that. Noodles EBT says, Drinker, are you guys excited for the Resident Evil 4 remake? I guess.
Excited is a complicated word. Well, I'll check it out.
I mostly like Resident Evil 2 remake, even though they kind of fucked around with the A and B scenarios, so they didn't really work anymore. Resident Evil 3 remake was kind of garbage, and it was over in about 2 hours. But it'd be interesting to see what they do with Resident Evil 4. I think the bits where I start to tune out of that game is like once you're in a castle and you're fighting like suits of armor and stuff. I'm like, don't really like the whole gothic aesthetic. That's probably why I didn't like Resident Evil 8 so much. But yeah, I mean, that's just me. Paolo74 says, why didn't they use Kenobi's escape craft to hyperspace ram the Star Destroyer? Is it 1 in a million if it's half a mile away?
Dude, the whole 1 in a million thing's so funny. Why do you park right next to it, an inch away, and then activate? You're not missing that, right?
Yeah. It's dumb as fuck. Because there's, the reason they have to have these, computers to calculate their jumps is so that they can be super accurate. And so you can be accurate on a fucking pinpoint with these hyperspace jumps. So there's no case of it being a 1 in a million shot. You could absolutely put that ship wherever you wanted to if you're that close.
Yeah. Like I said, he broke a rule. You're not allowed to use hyperspace as a weapon. It fucks everything up. You're just not allowed to do that. Just like you're not allowed to have Jedi grabbing each other in the middle of the fight and just winning. Like you can't have Sith grabbing ships because unfortunately it fucks up scenes from before. So keep your hand out of the cookie jar, okay? Find other things to do.
Yeah. Sofa Can Fast said, Drinker, can you do your best Sir Alec Guinness Kenobi impression? We want to see who's the best Scottish actor if Ewan McGregor walks away into the sand. I don't think I can. I'm going to try. He's more machine now than man, twisted and evil. No, that was shit. I can't do it. Sorry. I don't know if you could do one more.
Hello there. That's cool. Ewan McGregor, actually.
Yeah. Clown Attack says, I'm a huge Michael Crichton fan, so Jurassic World has been painful for me. Why does Hollywood disrespect such golden source material? Because they didn't have a book to work from.
Maybe they just don't know how to respect it. It's
I mean, yeah, with the original Jurassic Park, you could copy it from the book, and it was obviously a pretty well thought out piece of fiction. So you had that as your template. It was declining quality after that. Lost World was a bit meh. And then Jurassic Park 3 was pretty garbage. And then when you get to these new ones, it just relies entirely on the imagination and creativity of the writers of Hollywood. And well, look what happens.
Yeah.
Mobs says, are there any sympathetic villains bent on revenge?
Well,
it's going to be.
So we don't even have to find one example, right? Just in theory, she gets all of her friends killed. She gets stabbed and survives, crawls out of the gutter to survive, finds maybe some group of Jedi or, whatever, and she's training up with them, and she's fueled only by revenge to want to kill Vader. She tries to find a way to get to him. Same shit, just remove the part where she killed a whole bunch of innocent people and children, because that kind of fucks it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge is fine. There's a lot of stories that are the climax may involve we need to get rid of Vader. He's a mess. He's a nightmare. He's going to ruin the world. And then you have another character being like, are you actually trying to get rid of him for the better of everybody, or do you just want to kill him? Do you just want to get revenge? That sort of shit. And the big moment can mean that she gets someone killed trying to get to Vader without realizing she's that sort of stuff. It can be compelling, yeah.
Cantonor says, to all IP buyers, watch the video of the auction sale of Banksy's Balloon Girl. That was amazing. You need to learn that just because you buy it doesn't mean that you own it. Rather, you contribute to its destruction. I did like that, actually, when it shreds. But, I think there's ways to be respectful to a franchise and to continue it in a way that builds on it rather than destroys it. Just because you're picking up some old IP or whatever, doesn't mean you're going to ruin it. It's just it comes down to your skill and your creativity and your respect for the source material. We've referenced before that when they did Cobra Kai, they've done a great job with that. They've built on it. They've given the characters so much more depth and backstory. Like the people that were involved with it actually had real passion for the source material. So it can be done. It's just you've got to do a good job. Ultimately, that's all it comes down to. Frozen in the 80s said they used Mickey's Force Ghost better in Rocky V than they used Qui-Gon here. That is true. At least he got to give Rocky an actual pep talk when he needed it most. So yeah, that was nice. Papa Bull said, give The Old Man on FX with Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow. First 2 episodes have done some smart writing and gritty action. Nice. I mean, I like both the actors, so
yeah,
might give it a go. Super Groova said, Drinker, love your vids. Please tell me how to be more informed on live times. Can't seem to find them until they're already in progress. Is there going to be more plushies? And have you watched Outer Range? So, haven't watched Outer Range. There will almost certainly be more plushies. I might try and do a Critical Doggo as well, if we can add that to the list. Yeah, like with live streams, I'm pretty consistent about when I do them. Like they're always on a Thursday, if it's going to be open bar. So open bar is done Thursdays at 9 p.m. UK time or 4 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, so that's the best time to catch it. If you've got notifications on, you should get the notification when I first set up the stream, because I'll set it up like several hours in advance so people have got a chance to, add a reminder or whatever. Beyond that, I don't know what else to say. Joe's Atmosphere said, lore-enhancing stories can be told. Exhibit A, the Force Unleashed video game. It doesn't doesn't contradict and adds a layer to the canon. Hail all. Fair enough.
I think it does a way better job of trying to, because it tries to sit between the prequels and the OT as well. But yeah, it worked way better from memory than fucking this show did.
Wolfbane says, Reva exists for the same reason as Rotico and has the same narrative and audience effect. Yeah, pretty much. Super Grova said, I don't want to Star Wars anymore. I don't blame you. Matt Hepp gave me $100, so thank you, man. He said, the only way this story would have worked is if Obi-Wan would have went full dark side and did all he could to kill Vader, but failed. He uses this to learn from his mistakes, teaches Luke the right way, and make sure he doesn't go down the path he did so the Sith can be defeated. I mean, it's an interesting idea. I think it'd be a tough sell to have Obi-Wan tempted by the dark side at this point in his life. Like, he's been pretty much rock solid with all that stuff throughout his whole life. But yeah, I kind of get what you mean. Like, there's ways you can do it. And yeah, like the idea that he does try to kill Vader and he realizes the threat that he poses, but he just can't quite finish him off because he, doesn't have it in him, or he gets interrupted or something. That's just fine.
Well, yeah, they screwed themselves over kind of because they needed both payoffs. One where he spares Vader and wins because Vader says he was the master the last time they saw him. But then the other payoff that he doesn't see him as Anakin whatsoever. How do you have those both at the same time? You can't.
Yeah.
So they screwed themselves.
Georgiev says, can I get a cheers? A friend of mine that was a soldier in Ukraine just went to Valhalla. Oh shit. May he forever feast. Sorry, man. But yeah, cheers to him. I wish I had a beer with me, actually. I don't have one to hand. Micah D2 said, according to this show, Reva being a strong woman taught Vader how to use a tracker in A New Hope. The Force is female. I guess men are just dumb, so she gets credit for that now too. Yeah, tracking devices, they're very convenient.
Yeah.
Sonny says, you guys should check out My Little Thought, Tree's video on Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's pretty good. Yeah, My Little Thought Tree. Not familiar. Waylon Bocephus said, you guys should talk to Jensari 1. He is like an expert in old school Star Wars lore and has some excellent versus videos between Star Wars characters. Not saying you have to, but it would be cool. There we go. So many people getting recommended to us now.
Yeah.
The provocateur extraordinaire says, I had so many things to say about Obi-Wan, but you've all said it already. So thanks, boys. Well, it's our pleasure. Ministry of Wrong Think says, wait until Disney inevitably does an Uncle Owen show where they reveal it wasn't actually Luke's aunt and uncle's bodies that were burned.
they could have them be captured. The bodies were faked to make them think they were dead, and then they become Inquisitors themselves.
They killed the 2 stormtroopers that were sent there to like take them out or something, and they burn those bodies to make it look like they've been killed. They go into hiding. Yeah. They become like rebels themselves. There's so much you could do. Peter Pan says, this is one of the greatest crossovers ever. Just missing Az. I discovered you guys from Az, who I discovered from Asmongold. Keep up the good fight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Macadama says, my friend says that young Luke Skywalker subconsciously identified as young black girl so that Reva wouldn't kill him, and it worked. Douglas Burton says, will Disney go back and change Leia's message in A New Hope, make it all line up with this? General Kenobi, years ago, you said you wished you were my dad. Yeah.
Yep.
Michael Hansen says, Kenobi isn't bad. It's a special entertainment operation aimed to amuse you. You should enjoy it, really. I mean, we tried. Wolfbane says, the point of the show was twofold. A, for forcing money, and B, to try to pander to prequel fans. The quality and tone of its attempt at pandering says something about how DLF views Star Wars fans, so Disney Lucasfilm. It's designed to appeal to people who don't know much about Star Wars, I guess. Just they're going to be amused by little references and lines. Pew Monger says, did they just timeless child Star Wars with this series? Do you think it's that bad?
It's not quite that, is it? But it's still bad. We don't want to blend too hard with these sorts of things. Timeless Child is one of the most craziest, insane retcons that ever happened in any IP, really.
You should watch a bit. You would need a lot of context for it, but yeah, you should watch Star Trek Discovery. That's something else.
No.
LL Cool Whip says, if you guys haven't already, you need to see Ash versus the Evil Dead. It's a fantastic TV show that makes use of the half-hour runtime. Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of it. It's really funny. I like Ash versus the Evil Dead. Blue Collar Loser says, Drinker, launch channel. So about my video, I thank you, Gary, Jeremy, Muller, as you all are why I started doing this. I hope I one day can join you for an open bar. Love ya. Thanks, man. And good luck with your channel.
Yeah.
Zach Luna says, I wish Muller could read me a bedtime story about a critique of Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Well, once per 2 years or so, you get one.
Yeah. Gabriel Knight says, Seth Rogen is a producer on The Boys. Enough said. Is he? Young Sykes says, Hail, gentlemen. I'm going to have to recommend you not watch The Boys Season 3. It's pretty freaking terrible, especially last week's episode 5 was extremely cringe and it felt like a filler episode. Have you been watching it?
Nope. I'm just going to see what people say once it's over.
Yeah. I've got no interest in watching Westworld Season 4, and I'm pretty on the fence about The Boys. I've heard people talk about it's gloriously gory and violent and stuff, so if you just want the simple, just seeing people explode in a variety of ways, I suppose you can get that out of it. But yeah, man, it was going down in Season 2 already, so fuck knows.
Yeah,
I can't see them turning it around. Sonny says, The Boys Season 2 ruined Huey. He was a good character in the first season, and they made him completely useless in the second season. I can't argue with that. He was annoying as fuck.
Well, I've heard in the third season he's getting superpowers. So
yeah, because it's is it not something like you can take a sort of version of Compound V that will give you superpowers for a day or something?
Yeah, it's like temporary. Temp V is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah. Wet Boss says, I have a question. Did they ask the fifth brother, Wong, wow, you're great in this role, but could you Chinesey it up a bit? Go full fortune cookie with your performance. It was such a thick accent that it was stupid.
Oh, it was quite the guy with the hat, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit over the top. OMG Puppies said, I'm enjoying The Boys season 3, but definitely has political messaging. Bad guys talk about George Soros, legacy media, FBI, crime statistics, Antifa, globalists, etc. You're meant to think all those things are just crazy talk. Yeah, I think that was the direction it was going. Dax Lucero said, remember when Yoda holding a stone column was super impressive and he was barely able to do so while being the strongest Force user ever. Then Kenobi just lifts like twice that amount casually.
Yep.
Yeah, that was bullshit. Like, Elijah Soros Rex says, love all you guys. You all and Amazon's horrid Rings of Power series have inspired me to make my own channel. Maybe one day I'll be as cool as you guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you to you, mates. And man, yeah, we're inspiring lots of people to start their own channels. It's great.
That's pretty cool.
It's good to see. Yeah, you can take some of the load off us and watch some of these shit shows that we don't want to. Someone has to do it. Legacy says,
just real quick, it's like our era of growth. It's been ages since then. It's just like it does make sense that there should just be lots of channels that just pop up, you know, as a result of like Rings of Power seems like it's going to be a career creator for a lot of people, probably.
Yeah,
get out there, Lord of the Rings fans, fuck it up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fight them on the beaches with this one. Don't give an inch.
Because, like, I care about Lord of the Rings, but not as much as a lot of people, apparently. Like, some people know their shit back to front with that.
Yeah, it's pretty damn impressive. Legacy said, the biggest flaw with modern entertainment is that they lack adversity. They definitely don't lack diversity. It's about as simple as having Scorpion break Spider-Man's legs with Carol. What's stopping her? It's boring. Yeah, it's true. I guess you mean Carol Danvers. Yeah, bit of adversity is good for character building. Steve Meyer says, please happy hour one of the Bond movies. Thanks. I might just do that. Not a Daniel Craig one, though. I wouldn't be very happy. The Ferocious Otter says, did you see it looks as though they're getting ready to bait and switch Blade? Milan Ray has been cast as key character. I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair. Double O Excellence says, do you think Galactus will be the next Thanos? Probably be a giant CGI shitfest because you can't humanize a planet-sized god super easy, I imagine. I imagine Galactus is probably the next big bad that you could bring in, isn't it? It's like quite recognizable.
They're going to fuck him up. Same for Doctor Doom.
Yeah. There's always a new one to fuck up.
Gary's going to be so upset when they destroy Doctor Doom and Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
I already feel bad.
Again.
Yeah.
John Dark Soul said, hey, Drinker, I just got to thank you for helping me realize what an awful company Disney is as a whole. Well, you're welcome. 200 Watt Studios says, big hands because her power is hand job. Oh, fuck's sake. Okay, that'll be Ms. Marvel then. See It Twice said, if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, it'll still have a better rating than Ms. Marvel. Yeah. Catherine Rux says Lassiter went to Skydance. Okay. CJ Broskin says, gonna have to boost for tonight, but I'll leave you with this. Do you consider John Hammond to be a true villain in Jurassic Park, considering his actions in The Lost World? What does he do in The Lost World? He's just kind of there to introduce them to the mission.
I think he's just the quest giver, right? Like he's not anything beyond that.
Yeah, but I don't consider him to be a villain.
He's absolutely not at all intending to hurt anyone, and he does everything he can at the cost of his reputation and the park to save people's lives. I'm pretty sure it would be hard to call him a villain.
I think, his biggest sort of sin as a character, I guess, is his willingness to like cut corners and not ask too many questions in order to get things done. I think in the book he's a much more like not sinister character, but like he's definitely got more of a ruthless edge to him in that. Like I think he very much was aware of a lot of the problems with the park, but he just kind of didn't give a fuck. So, but yeah. It's funny because I think if they were to remake it now, just for whatever reason, they were like, yeah, we're just going to do Jurassic Park over again. He would absolutely be portrayed as an evil, rich white man. You know what I mean? Like he would be willing to sacrifice everyone to keep the news of the problems at the park from getting out. So yeah, it's just different times, I suppose. Darkside Droids said, "Have you seen the previews for the Terminal List with Chris Pratt on Amazon? It's a new series that looks very Jack Reachery. It debuts July 1st." No, I haven't seen the previews for it. I've heard people talking to me about it though, like recommending it and stuff. Don't know a huge amount about it, but
yeah, I don't know much about it.
Nice to see Chris Pratt doing stuff though. Pooty Evans says, "I bet Aunt Beru is the reason why you see their scorched corpses outside Luke's home in A New Hope. Beru, the Empire is on its way for those droids. We're enough, Owen. I'm not leaving my home." Yeah, that's it. It's like sometimes it's all heroic to stand and fight, but like when the odds are like impossible, that's just stupid. You're just going to get yourself killed. Daniel said, "Saying Strange New Worlds was good this week is like saying your prison shower visitor was gentle this week. Stockholm Syndrome really kicking in." Yeah, I mean, I know Robert Meyer Burnett's going on about Strange New Worlds, and he seems to be really liking it. And he said something even more disturbing, because apparently he's seen Picard Season 3, and he thinks it's fantastic. So I just don't know what to believe anymore. It's disturbing. John Zuccaro said, "Just tuned in. You guys are awesome. Drinker, I ordered your book per your Top Gun Maverick request. Thank you very much. Now I have to learn how to read." That's true. Gary and Jeremy, "I also love your stuff. Thanks. Disney Star Wars is so awful. Kenobi blows." I think that's all true.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks for ordering the book, mate. Nicholas Krauser said, "F's in chat for Wayne, the most memorable character in the Obi-Wan show." Yeah. Oh, he's gone. A Guy Under a Bridge says, "All these sci-fi shows look the same. You can have Halo, Obi-Wan on the same dust ball planet, and I wouldn't have blinked." Yeah. Garen A. Drozen said, "Has anyone here seen the Foundation series on Apple TV and have opinions about it? I guess it's only been a single season." Yeah, loads. We've had so many super chats about that over the past few months, and I've never seen it, and kind of don't want to. Also, I don't have Apple TV.
Yeah.
So those are hurdles. Yeah. Oliver Edwards says, "Kenobi, degrading two of the franchise's most beloved characters for a shameless cash grab. Obi-Wan is stupid, Vader is weak and incompetent." What can I say? It's all about making money. And more importantly, getting content out there. Shauna Bass said, "George R.R. Martin confirmed the Jon Snow series. Apparently, Kit Harington brought his project to HBO. He's picked his own writers too. George R. Martin's had a post on his Not a Blog about it. It sounds like Kit's fan fiction." Fucking. I'm surprised he wanted to come back to it, actually, after season 8. You'd think he'd just want to like forget Game of Thrones ever happened.
I was just waiting for the day where he was like, "I'm retiring." Turns out that's actually what I wanted to do anyway. It's like, okay.
I mean, I can't really remember seeing him in much. Like, he had a small role in the Eternals, didn't he? He was like one of the characters' boyfriends or something.
Oh shit! Sorry, I thought we were talking about George R. R. Martin, not Kit Harington is his name, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, apparently he brought the project to HBO. So he's kind of not the mastermind behind it, but I guess he was pushing for it to happen.
Yeah, that's safe to assume is just because he fucking what didn't he do Pompeii?
Yeah, that was a flop.
It's just they struggle so hard to get out of and then it's just like, look, I can go back to Jon Snow. This is the thing, man. I'm very curious how long before Chris Evans goes back to Captain America. See if that's just an extended version of that as well.
Well, we were talking about this the other night, weren't we? And it's like he really doesn't have much to fall back on now that he's out of the Marvel loop. You know,
what do you mean?
He obviously
he has Lightyear.
Yeah, that was a big hit.
Everyone loved it.
I mean, obviously he was in Knives Out, but then that was a one-shot deal, really. I don't think his character is going to be back. So
yeah,
he's just he'll come back if there's enough money involved. I'm sure he would. Alex Andrews says, "Here's some drinking money to help you gents forget all about Kenobi. Shame that spice isn't real. Literally cannot wait for the EFAP on this steaming pile of mouse shit." Yeah, I mean...
They say mouse shit.
Yeah.
Nice. True.
Felmoy says, love your content. Been watching you for years. Cheers from Germany. Go away now. I will go away soon. But yeah, thanks, man.
Cheers.
Wi-Fi X Smasher said, why did Lightyear flop? Because it was shit, apparently. I don't imagine I'll ever be watching it, so I don't really care one way or the other. Yeah, it seemed like a daft project right from the beginning. I don't get the point in it. Not using Tim Allen as well for the voice was just sacrilege.
Yeah.
And the reason that they gave was total bullshit as well. So, yeah, it's just...
I think they assumed that Chris Evans would be more of a draw, but, well...
It's just his voice as well. Like, is he got that amazing a voice that it's like, yeah, I've got to have him voicing this character.
I felt like it, yeah, because apparently Tim Allen's coming in for a TV show or something to do with Buzz Lightyear, right?
Is he?
That's what
I don't know.
Let me have a look quick, because if that's true, then they really should have used him for the movie, and I have no idea why they didn't. Buzz Lightyear. Because I remember seeing someone posting about this, that there's plans. Because I don't know if they hate him or not, Hollywood. It's hard to tell these days, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, Tim Allen disses Chris Evans' has he said something critical about it?
Oh, has he? Oh, brilliant.
Tim Allen has finally broken his silence on the absence from the new Toy Story film. It's from 2 days ago. There's a quote that says there's no Buzz.
Ooh.
Damn.
Bro.
Hang on.
Yeah, like everyone's going to want to forget that. That's the thing they were talking about. Like, this could lose like $100 million for the studio because it's been that bad. And it's like, that's going to be a major blow for Pixar.
Yeah, so he said there's a whole new team that's doing this that has nothing to do with the first movies. The short answer is I've stayed out of this because it has nothing to do with this character. And he said he added, there's really no Toy Story Buzz without Woody. Woody is Buzz's best pal and played by Tom Hanks. Yeah. I wish there was a better connection. They have that in quotes. They say the Santa Claus star stated.
I just find that's fun. The best they could come up with. I really don't want them to do any more Toy Story movies either. 4 was so unnecessary. I think like Toy Story 3 like just rounded it out nicely. A great character arc for Woody and
yep. The less that is said about Toy Story 4, the better. I hate that film.
Yep. It was kind of like the Bo Peep movie, really, wasn't it? It's just like, oh my god, it's like fucking Reva and Kenobi. It's like every time.
Man, apparently Chris Evans said what Tim Allen did in those movies is so iconic and loved. I'd be a fool not to incorporate some of the choices he made into this role. It's like, well, I think the love's going one way in this one. Yeah.
200 Watt Studio says Ice Queen comes after Jon Snow to avenge her king's death. Yeah, you can see it. It's like we're that short on ideas. It's like, oh no, the White Walkers are back. We thought we killed them all, but we didn't.
Yeah, I think the first person I heard say that was Gary, and it sounds very likely they could do that.
I mean, it's always possible, isn't it, to just like, there's always another like stronger like antagonist that had just been unknown up until now. Like, it was always like the trope back in the day was like, oh, the Dark Lord has returned or something, and it would just be like, why has he never been heard of until now? It's like, oh, we didn't talk about it, but here he is. He's now the thing that's going to end the world. There's always going to be something, I suppose, but yeah. I just don't see the point in it. I just don't want to do this. Nabor605 says, Sean Bean comes back, but it's Boromir, not Ned Stark this time around. Yeah, do it. Bring him in. See It Twice said the other side of Game of Thrones world is called Molestros, and it's run by House Disney. 52 movies a year says, how much to get an audio clip of Mauler saying, I don't want it?
I've said that a whole bunch of stuff, but if you need one, just, I don't want it.
There you go. There's your clip.
I think, I was going to say, they might be one of my reviews. I don't know, when I was doing the Game of Thrones stuff, because fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like it when you started talking about Jon Snow and his dialogue options, how they're just getting cut down to like, "Choose my queen." And
That's
I
the
think
thing.
you even had the screen vibrating when he said it.
I was about to say, oh god, they ruined him, but it's like, well, they ruined everyone. Nobody
Yeah.
got out unscathed in that fucking season.
Kung Fu Hot Dog says, "Hail gents! I remember going to watch Top Gun Maverick, and when they dropped the Thor trailer, everyone went silent when they saw Lady Thor. It was absolute cringe." Yeah, I've got a feeling that's going to be the movie. Basically, it's just her film.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Weiss said, "Will any of you be doing a Stranger Things review?" I will. I'm just watching the finale tonight, and I got like halfway through it, so I just need to finish it, and then I'm planning to review it because I've been really impressed this season, really surprised. So
I think
looking
I'll
forward
do
to talking about it.
some kind of a stream, but probably not a video and probably not an EFAB.
Yeah. Primer says Palpatine and Anakin sitcom, 1.5 Men. That's fair enough. Jack Harkness says, "Which line is worse? You're the Rocket Man from The Rock, or I will stand and fight from Terminator Dark Fate?" I'm going to say the second one because it's the delivery that's so shit. When you've got Nicolas Cage saying that, like he sells it, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite a cool little one-liner. But yeah, that whole like Danny Ramos thing, like I'm going to stand and fight. It was like a little toddler having a tantrum.
Yes, it was.
Taoist Viking Art says, "I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty stoked for Andor, a character I forgot about from a movie I forgot about." Yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't even say this name. Is it Idohi Guma says, "Kenobi season 2. Jimmy Kenobi carries around baby Mando and goes on fetch quests with him on 5 different Tatooine variations. Might as well. Working Baby Yoda." That's a good point, actually, because he was there during Order 66, wasn't he? He was at the Jedi Temple because he remembers it. So I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't reference him in this.
I thought they were going to give us an idea of who saved him in this, but I guess they're still holding on to that.
Yeah.
It's going to be Mace Windu.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. IDeoFix says, "Predator versus John McClane from Die Hard." I think the Predator would probably win.
Probably.
Diano says, "On the Game of Thrones spin-off, Emilia Clarke, speaking with the BBC, said the show is real, and Kit Harington is heavily involved with the show's creation." Yeah, it's like what we heard earlier. So, yeah, Kit's got to eat, I suppose. He's gonna want this show. Faulty Pillars said, "So The Boys season 3. I guess it's out. I guess it is, and I guess might have to give it a look sometime." Brian Sullivan gave me $10, so thanks, mate. And Blue Tiger said, "Mauler, sweep the leg. Do it."
Oh. All right.
Micah D2 says, "Mauler, watch Cobra Kai so you can tell him how bad a lot of the acting is. The story is pretty good, though."
Oh.
I'm not going to dispute that. There is some shaky acting from the younger characters, for sure. And some pretty shaky fighting scenes as well. Like, clearly some of the actors put in more effort than others. Finbar White said, "Clue with Tim Curry is a brilliant whodunit." It is indeed.
Yeah.
In and Out says, "Are Natalie Portman's muscles real in Thor? If you believe that they're real, then you will believe pretty much anything." They're CGI'd for sure. Micah D2 says, "Also, all of you should watch The Vicious Kind." Shorty Short said, "Dawn of the Dead was good because Gunn wrote it." That's what we heard, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that myself. I knew that, but then I completely blanked it. Still
The
counts
Master-
as a Snyder movie, though, I guess.
I mean, he directed it, so
Yeah.
it's so unlike the rest of his films. Actually, it's a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's Snyder before he fully became Snyder. The Master Nater says, "What fandom IP would be good for Tarantino to work in?" That's a good question, actually. Not Star Trek. I could not see him doing a Star Trek movie. Yeah, I mean, what have you got to choose from? Could he do Star Wars? Maybe. If it was a kind of Rogue One type scenario where you've got a group of people got to work together to to do a mission. Yeah, he could do something like that for sure. Harry Houdini said, if you're sick of crappy Star Wars, watch the Clone Wars. I'm not exaggerating when I say it's genuinely the best Star Wars since The Empire Strikes Back. I'll take your recommendation then. In and Out says, what do you guys think of Ezra Miller? I don't think he should be working these days. He needs to take some time out and rethink his life.
Prison might be the suggestion at this point, considering what I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be poisoned for any movie he's in at this point. Like, he's got to be, like, basically radioactive. No studio is going to take him on. Big Rog gave me a thumbs up, so thanks, man. David says, Drinker, Jurassic Park is real. You're at In and Out. What dino meat burger are you eating? Whoa. What burger what dinosaur would I like in my burger? I think, it's got to be a T-Rex, really. So you can say you're eating the best predator on the planet. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of power in that. Got to try it.
A lot of protein.
Yeah.
So Angus Fungus said COVID made us stay at home. Dinosaurs. Phantasm Dusk says, are you going to watch the train wreck that will be CW's Gotham Knights? No, I'm not, because the CW is not a thing I'm really interested in. In and Out said, Drinker implied in a previous video that Natalie Portman's muscles are fake in the latest Thor film. How does he know that? Mostly because I've seen pictures of Natalie Portman before and after the making of this film, and she's got the build of a fucking garden rake. And yeah, the muscles that you see in this are like serious muscle mass, like serious bulk that like a female bodybuilder would probably be proud of. There's no way she put on that kind of mass. Yeah, I cannot believe that's true. And they actually look pretty fake at times. I've seen some pictures of them where they've like freeze framed it, and it's like, ooh, that looks a bit rough. Robbie McHugh says, just sitting here not waiting for Alien versus Predator in Jurassic Multiverse. Give it time, it'll happen.
Yep.
Dinosaurs in space. That's the next step. Game Sense said, Jurassic World Dominion. If they wanted locusts to be the main point of the story, then it should be its own standalone movie, having nothing to do with Jurassic Park. Yeah, it's very true, because I tried to explain that locust plot to you, and it's like brain-meltingly stupid.
Well, I think it was a friend of mine seen it, and he was like, you're never going to believe what it's about. And I was like, no, I know locusts. So then he went, fire locusts.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe this still has some surprises for me in this movie.
Did he explain the context behind that at all?
No, eventually I started realizing, like, probably the less I know, the better. So when I first watch it, I can just be blown away.
All right, I won't spoil it for you, but that scene just made me die inside.
Fair enough.
John Dark Soul said, any of you guys seen Firefly? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's good shit.
There you go. Star Wars Mansplain says, Disney Star Wars subverting themselves into obscurity. Indeed.
Yeah.
Legacy says, what if Miles was actually original? True. Miles Morales, I guess. Denzel Kanu says, Drinker, have you ever seen the movie The Gift? That is a good question, actually.
So Harrison Ford.
Let's see if it's the one I'm thinking of. The Gift's 2015 American film. Jason Bateman and Rebecca Hall. No, I haven't seen that one.
About the one from 2000 is the one I remember.
Let's see.
Katie Holmes is in it.
So
and Keanu Reeves. Oh my god.
Kate Blanchett, Katie Holmes, Keanu Reeves, Hilary Swank, Giovanni Ribisi. God, everyone's in that one. Yeah, I haven't seen that, I'm afraid, no. It's like 57% on Rotten Tomatoes, so not sure. Okay. The last one here is Nicholas Kreuzer, who said the Hulk Funko Pops are bigger than the rest. Okay. I mean, they should be, I guess.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was a great way to go out and finish up our super chats on. It's like something that's completely out of context and we've got no idea what it means. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense, I suppose. But hey, we did it, Mauler. We got through it.
Yay!
And yeah, this is a weird experience. Not doing it live like we normally do, but
Yeah.
I'll finish it right, and that'll be when I realize that I didn't hit record or something. I've just wasted like an hour and a half.
Well,
No.
we can't say hi chat, but we can say hi comment section. How you doing?
Yeah, hi comment section, and yeah, I hope you enjoy this, future people, when I upload this to my second channel. And yeah, I think that's really all we've got. The only other thing I was going to bring up is that I am going to be at Tampa Bay, Florida Con at the end of July. So like the last weekend in July, I am going to be there. So you can meet me in the flesh if you want to see me and throw shoes at me and stuff. So
come and meet my flesh.
Yeah. Yeah, so that should be good fun. I'm looking forward to doing my first convention as a guest, and hopefully I won't get thrown out by security. So we'll see what happens. It should be good fun. Anyway, yeah, thank you to you guys for tuning in the future anyway to watch this, and thanks to Mauler for joining me for this.
No problem.
Yeah. But anyway, that is all we've got for today. So go away now.
Bye-bye.